Hey there, it's BitB, and welcome out to another BitB stream. Thanks for coming out. It is Saturday, and we're doing more Ace Attorney investigations. Hooray. There, bring that down. And hopefully this will be a better stream than the last time I did it. Because good God. I do want to mention that real quick before we begin here. The last stream that I did, it was kind of a dumpster fire. I tried to do a VR stream and nothing seemed to work. Aside from, I think, one game actually went off without a hitch, and then the rest of it was just kind of garbage. To a point where I don't think I'm going to be uploading it. And this is the first time that I'm actually not going to upload something, which, holy... Actually, no, not really. I mean, I attempted to do Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, but I attempted to upload that somewhere else, and I'm still looking for a place to upload it. So, that doesn't... This is one where, like, it was so catastrophic that I don't think I'm going to even... I'll keep the VOD just for posterity's sake, but I'm not going to upload it. But yeah, I'm looking forward to diving into something more fun, and this will be fun. This will be exciting. So the last time that we did Ace Attorney investigations, we were trying to uncover a murder, and the murder was taking place in a courthouse. As well as it also seems like it was some kind of elaborate setup done by a third party, which we have not discovered who it is. Still kind of in the dark about that one. I have my suspicions about who it might be, but I think it's way too early to call. In fact, I'm pretty sure my suspicions were absolutely wrong when I originally started. At first, I thought maybe it had something to do with the... I thought maybe it was the defense that somehow killed him for some reason. I don't know. I wasn't entirely sure, but yeah, now I'm completely in the dark and I have no idea. So let's just dive on into the game here. Now, let me just move that so I can actually see the screen. There we are. And hopefully we'll have less technical difficulties. There was just a buttload of them the last time. Like, for whatever reason, Mixer was being an asshole, which I'm thinking I'm going to swap from Mixer and I'm going to do something else. Probably moving over to doing live streams on YouTube. Because it's easier, it's simpler, and I'm sure their servers can handle it. Anyways. Let us continue. From chapter start. I'm monitoring my own voice right now, so just making sure everything is level. September 10th, 4:45 p.m., District Court, 3rd floor lobby. Sir, what is to become of the trial into the Kodopian Embassy staff member's murder?
Indeed, since both the suspect and the prosecutor are now dead, the case will be dismissed. In other words, the trial ends here, prematurely.
Looks like you'll have to wait just a bit longer for your big debut. I suppose it can't be helped.
The evidence for this trial will be transferred to you in a little while.
Ito. So, what do you think about the murder of the Kodopian Embassy staff member? And the murders of Mr. Faraday and Mr. Rail?
What an outrageous circus it has all become. That Faraday brought it all upon himself with his naivete.
An outrageous circus. Right, sir.
I grow weary of this topic, Edgeworth. I will have you assigned to a different case.
Goody goody. And I'm sure you're going to set it all up so that I win. Papa, you'll come and watch my courtroom debut next, won't you?
I'll consider it.
Jeez, man. Apparently he loves me a little bit more than daughter. Okay, is the audio perfectly good here? Maybe I could drop it down to about here. Yeah, I can still kind of hear me. That's good. I'm going to stop listening to my own voice. Though it's a lot easier now that I'm using OBS and there's less lag between the voice and what's actually going on the stream. There we go. Okay. Sir, if I may, please allow me to continue with my investigation.
Whatever for?
I know that there is already a suspect in the murder of Mr. Faraday and Mr. Rell. However, there is not enough evidence to prove that it was he who committed the crime. I'd like to continue investigating in order to find the perfect proof of his guilt.
The perfect proof? Don't make me laugh! A worthless person like you has no right to claim such a thing as perfection.
Jeez, dude. Seriously, and you have that right? I mean, like, theoretically, yeah, he's had absolutely no fault. But yeah, can you give me a chance to maybe have no faults? I have a clean slate. Maybe I can be you. Papa, who do you think is the real culprit behind these murders? Miles and I were competing to see who can find the real killer first. Plus, being able to investigate a real crime scene is a really rare opportunity. It would give us some real-life experience, wouldn't you agree?
If you want to investigate this case that much, then do as you wish.
Then you're allowing us to continue?
In court, your top priority is to win, and a solid investigation is one of the keys to winning. We have to make sure you become recognized as a first-rate prosecutor, don't we? It wouldn't be very interesting otherwise. I'm returning home now. Edgeworth, Franziska, see to it I'm not disturbed, save for the results of your competition.
Yes, sir. Of course, Papa. Boy, what a flower and a sunshine bit he is. I'm sure he's going home to, like, some kind of soap operas. Actually, no. Oh, I don't know what he would be excited about. I feel like he just broods in some kind of, like, a study of some kind. Just paces back and forth, just like, must be perfect, must be perfect, must be perfect. Franziska, thank you. What are you thanking me for? Your logic earlier was built on that scruffy detective's lie. That means that the competition is still on. Yes, just as you wished. I couldn't let you get off so easy. And now then, let's see how well you fare on the investigation from here, Miles Edgeworth. I know I don't have enough information yet, so my first order of business will be to question anyone involved with this case. Very well. Well, first and foremost, I'm going to examine stuff in the room. I don't know why. There tends to be new stuff when I check things out. It's an incredibly detailed model, isn't it? I heard that it costs as much to make that as it costs to build the courthouse itself. Jeez, why? That is so goddamn expensive. Who was it that you got? See, who do we know that is really good at making forgeries and potentially making smaller versions of them? Nope, it's off my head. What's the point of making such an expensive model? I felt the exact same way upon hearing it. It's so hard to understand such foolishness. Agreed. What are you doing slacking off? Sir, nothing to report, sir. Is there no one who will make this man take responsibility for his actions on the job? Looks like we have no choice but to report this to Papa. Then, this god can have fun in a walking nightmare after being awakened from his dream. Actually, let's not. I kind of feel sorry for him now. What are you up to? What's the matter, officer? I've been standing here for forever, sir, and I really need to go to the bathroom. Why don't you just make a quick trip? The nearest one isn't that far, is it? No, it's a short way down the hall beyond these doors, but I don't want to be blamed for anything that might happen while I'm gone. So I'm gonna hold it. Perhaps Detective Gumshoe can be a positive influence on the force after all. Good God, don't let your bladder explode, dude. Oh, that's just the model. I was trying to talk to the dude. Hold on. Hey! Wow, this thing's so incredibly detailed. My inner modeling fanboy is impressed. I'm not exactly a fan of plastic models per se, but even I can sense the superb quality of this model. I simply cannot comprehend how that man can feel so much love for such a trifle. Oh, I see. You're a disciple of my father. So you would do well to guard yourself against an interest in such unproductive things. Yes, perhaps I should take up whipping people like the young lady over here. So much shade. I can't stop the water, sir. Seems that the man who was here drinking earlier broke it by drinking too much. Bunch of fools who pretend to not see the foolishly foolish actions of a foolish fool. Well then, why don't you lend the officer a hand? As if I should have anything to do with this. Besides, that water-drinking fool's mouth is the thing that officer should be covering. Let's give that officer a description of the water guzzler later. Oh wait, let's give Jesus. Sorry, it's so difficult to, like, remember to check people's names when they are in the side there. Especially since it's ever so slightly difficult to read people's words when it's this pixelated, but I'm not going to lean on crutches. She seems to have quite the grudge. It sounds to me like someone wanted a drink. Ugh. I don't know. It sounds like that's some pretty harsh water to be drinking. Okay, well then there's you. Before we talk to anybody directly related to the case. Yes, what is it? Today's trial. It feels like there's a whole backside to this case we're not seeing. And here we had thought that it was a case where the two men had killed each other. We're lacking in information. And as of Oncama, I can hardly call that a perfect investigation. Indeed, it is as you say. I can't believe we agree on something. Just what is so revolting about agreeing? Anyway, our first move should be to speak with everyone related to this case. Indeed, even if you had not said it, I was planning to do so anyway. Get off of my brain. What was that lash for? Right, yes, let's actually start talking to people. Wait. Books. It's a bookshelf. What's this? Judges Trial Exchange Log. It appears to be a journal where the various judges share their thoughts and ideas. The real daily lives of the judges are laid out here on these pages. There's nothing about the court in here. It's just a page after page of unrelated drivel. Judging by the content, they are very enthusiastic about the courthouse's daily menu. And it would appear that fried oysters are a favorite. I have no use for such foolishly foolish words from that foolishly foolish crowd. Someone please assure me that this is not the true state of this country's judiciary. Jurisdiction. Hello. Let's actually get to the bottom of this. Miss you. Oh, it's you, Edgeworth. And, who are you? Wait, you were at the crime scene just now, weren't you? You should be disbarred for not knowing who I am. I am Francisco von Karma, and I am about to become the successor to the family name. About to? I guess that means that for now, you're still just another kid. In which case, it's only natural that I didn't know who you are. Oh, geez. Careful. Why are you whipping me? Anyway, looks like they're planning to hold the evidence a bit longer. If there's one thing I can't stand, it's waiting. I'm terribly sorry, but I have but a few more questions to ask of you. Look at your eyebrows scrunched with lines on your forehead. And that to ask of you to take me seriously, gosh darn it. What exactly is so funny? Sorry. Just bad at dealing with a super serious atmosphere. Apparently they failed to teach you proper behavior at a crime scene in law school. Whew, I feel so much better now. So, what is it you want to talk about? I'd like to inquire as to where you were at the time of the murder. We were in defendant lobby number 1, the whole time up until we heard the gunshot. And by we, I mean Mr. Bad. If you don't believe me, feel free to ask him yourself. You were with Detective Bad? Why? We had a little something to discuss, that's all. I'd like to know a little bit more about the thing you had to discuss, but... So, I take it you are acquaintances with Detective Bad? Yeah, he was the detective in charge of the KG-8 incident. Detective Bad is also related to that incident? Yeah, weird. It's like in Phoenix Wright and in Ace Attorney games, everything comes full circle or something. That's right. He was the one who was supposed to protect my sister, Cease. But you know how that turned out, don't you, Edgeworth? How's Edgeworth? I have no idea what you two are talking about. I've heard of the KG-8 incident from my papa, but how does that case relate to you, Miss Yu? The victim of that case, Cease Yu, was my little sister. Yep, I knew that one. You're making that super serious face again. I'm fine, really. I just make it a point to rub some more salt in his wounded pride every time I see him. The way she talks about doing that as she laughs away is kind of creepy. Oh, speaking of Mr. Bad, he and Mr. Faraday, I'd say they met up just about every single time the Yatagarasu made a move. It was practically a given that the two would meet up at every one of the crime scenes. I see. He did mention that he is in charge of the Yatagarasu investigation earlier. Maybe I should ask her what she knows about the Yatagarasu in more detail. Cool. More infos. So what about this? You claim that at the time of the murder, you were with Detective Bad. But don't you lawyers usually discuss the trial with your clients during a recess? We do, and that's what I was planning to do. But Mr. Faraday was being rather threatening, and he dragged Mr. Rel away. After that, Mr. Bad came into lobby number 1, so we just stayed there and talked. And what did you talk with Detective Bad about? Nothing interesting. I just insulted him some. Talked about how the trial was going. And then I insulted him some more. Bloody... She's not laughing. Her mouth seemingly spews nothing but insults. Anyway, Mr. Bad and I were in Dependent Lobby number 1 when the murder occurred. So I really can't tell you anything about the hallway or lobby number 2. I see. Supposedly a dead end. We'll see how that goes. I'd like to ask you a few questions about your client, Mr. Mackerel. Now, your client first claimed to be the Yatagarasu, is that correct? Yeah. Once I heard that it was the Yatagarasu that had made off with the evidence from KG-8, I began to ask Mr. Rel all sorts of questions, but to no avail. Turns out Mr. Rel was not the Yatagarasu. He just made that up. He made it up? Mr. Rel's crime was caught on tape by the security cameras, but there's no footage of him sneaking into the Kodopian embassy himself. Hold on for just 1 second. Then you mean to say that you knew that he was not the real Yatagarasu? And that he was just another cold-blooded killer? And you were ready to defend him? Yes, that's right. I see. So a defense lawyer is actually just someone whose job is to cover for criminals. That's why defense lawyers are so detestable, but they are no match for us Von Karmas. Yes, but it's also detestable to just take down every single soul that you see. But, you know, whatever. I don't believe it, you're serious. Why don't you save that face for something really worth being serious about? And Edgeworth, do you remember what I said earlier? I have my own agenda. I'm still on the hunt for leads regarding the KG-8 incident, alright? And for that you have not a single qualm about defending a known killer? Don't put words in my mouth. I said no such thing. I mean, that's kind of their job. It's what they do. They do whatever somebody... They defend anybody, regardless of whether or not they are labeled as a killer or not. And then they see whether or not they win or they lose. The only way I had to get close to Mr. Rel was to be his lawyer. I had no intention of covering for him ever, so don't you dare suggest I was going to. I'm sorry. Forgive my rashness. So, yeah, the Yatagarasu. Miss you. I was wondering if you could tell me about the Yatagarasu. Yatagarasu, huh? I don't really know much about the character myself, but I do get a lot of consultation requests from companies to defend them. Requests from companies? The Yatagarasu isn't some petty thief out for money, you know? Alright then. Perhaps the Yatagarasu is in the business of stealing people's lives? Nope, not quite. You're not very funny or witty, are you, little Miss Von Karma? Don't test her. Francisca, be careful about who you whip. Choose carefully or we may be sued by... There, I chose carefully. Just like you wanted. Stop laughing at my sorrow. Just stop there. That just was hilarious, little Missy. Of course it was.
What is wrong with these two women? Why does my pain give them delight?
And so in the end, what is the Yatagarasu? I have to say, I've never even heard of this thief when I was in Germany. The Yatagarasu deals in information. Namely, in digging out dirt about backroom dealings and the like of companies. The Yatagarasu is a vigilante who steals such info and then makes it public for all to see. Vigilante or not, this person sounds like just another criminal to me. I suppose you could put it that way too. But either way, I get a lot more clients now thanks to that thief.
Sounds like Miss Yu is profiting nicely.
Chop and lock.
I suppose I've gotten all I can on Miss Yu. I should move on and speak with Detective Gumshoe now.
And save his ass.
Detective Gumshoe. Hey, it's you, pal. You're here. You?
As am I.
I don't think you needed to whip him to let him know that. I didn't do it, pal. I swear on my honor as a detective, I really didn't. Your words are useless. I place my trust only in the evidence, detective. Once the investigation is fully over, and should we find out that you are the killer, there will be no mercy to be had for you. Have a heart, pal. But you're not worried, right? After all, you have nothing to worry about. If you really are innocent, that is. That's right. Hey, pal. Go and do your perfect investigation and get the real killer for me, will you? I would have done so, even had you not requested me to to do it, detective.
Well, let's figure out some information about your stuff. Yeah, what would be his motive for all this nonsense?
So you and Mr. Faraday had a small meeting last week, did you? And what exactly did you do to make him so angry? I just asked Detective Bad the same thing myself, pal. Turns out he was mad at me because of my very first day as a detective. I reported in as my usual post instead of at my usual post instead of the Criminal Affairs Department. By the time I got down to Criminal Affairs, I was really, really late. And that's when he gave me that huge speech.
I remember doing the same exact thing in elementary school. On the first day in school, every year, I'd always wind up going to my old classroom.
How pathetic for the detective to be compared to a mere schoolchild.
I don't know. I didn't really do that myself. Although I did get super ridiculously confused about where I was supposed to be going a lot of times. I've actually had some nightmares before where I would be going to school, going to class on like the first day. And for God's, I would have no idea why, but I wouldn't know where I was supposed to be going, and I just sort of drift through the entire day being like, I guess I go to that room. I don't know where I'm supposed to be. Nobody pointed the finger or gave me a, like, I don't have any packets to show me, just being like, what room am I supposed to be in? What teacher is this? And then you wake up and you're like, oh, thank God. Oh, high school was how many years ago? It's like, it's almost gotten to like a decade that I've been outside of high school, and it's kind of scary. You claim to be in standing guard in front of the door to lobby number 2 during the recess. However, when did you receive the order to do so, and from whom? Earlier, at around 3:20. I'm from Detective Bad, pal. Today's trial took a really crazy turn. So I was told to make sure nothing happened to Mr. Faraday. And yet something did happen to him, correct? It looks like he was a total waste of manpower to assign you to guard duty. No! Your words sting worse than your whip, pal. So it was Detective Bad who ordered him to stand guard, That's suspicious. Now then, Detective Gumshoe, is there anything else you'd like to tell me? Nope, not a thing, pal. Weird. If only we had a psych lock. In that case, allow us to take a look at what you are carrying on your personage. Wait! You can't do that! There's nothing of any particular value here.
Well, my handcuffs and badge were confiscated by Detective Bad, so, you know...
And what is that open envelope I see sticking out of your coat pocket?
Hands off, pal!
Just show it to us already! Whip it out of him.
Yo!
Annual bonus check within $5 total. Except there's no check inside.
You've had your look. Now give it back, pal. It's my first bonus as a brand new detective. I just got it and cashed it today. I had literally no cash on me up until I did, you know. So that envelope was really special to me. No, give it back.
You don't need rubbish like this. Don't worry, we'll throw it away for you later.
How could you?
Freaking poor Gumshoe. Alright, so he got a $5... Wait. $5 freaking dollars? That was your bonus? Dear God, I don't think I could possibly feel more pity for a person. I'm sorry, but I need to take him in for questioning now. I think I've asked him just about everything I need to. No, wait. Since he became a suspect, there is one piece of evidence I should reconfirm. Officer, I ask that you wait a second. I still have one thing I'd like to reconfirm with Detective Gumshoe. Understood, but please make it brief, sir. I want to hear it from the horse's mouth. I must confirm whether or not his testimony about when the crime occurred is the truth. Very well. So, wait a minute. How am I supposed to get that information out of him? Because I choose talk it. Oh, oops. I chose motive for murder. I assume I need to... Oh, right. I probably have his testimony. So let's see. Yep. Gumshoe's testimony. You told me earlier that you heard no sound other than the gunshot out in the hallway. Is that correct?
No mistake about it, pal.
Then you are also claiming that no one passed through the hallway either. Is that also correct?
Yup. Not even a single ant passed through that hall while I was on duty.
You do realize that the lie you're telling is only making life more difficult for yourself?
Oh. But it's true. I didn't see anyone go through the hallway, and I didn't hear anything else, pal. I bet the killer found a way to kill the two guys that's beyond what I can even imagine.
That's quite a lot, considering Gumshoe. So he intends to continue telling this ridiculous lie. But why would he do so, given the situation he's in? I believe a thorough investigation of the hallway in front of the defendant's lobby is in order. Alright, new room. Oh, don't you dare.
No, you... No,
You little demon child. How could you have not noticed that coming?
Wasn't that the child I changed money for earlier?
Yes, exactly. Thanks! That's exactly what I needed!
Kids can sometimes be so cruel.
It looks like they dropped something. A Swiss roll. Great. And that's evidence now? Of course that's evidence now. Maybe we should arrest the girl. She might turn out to be a valuable lead.
I believe some sort of punishment may need to be dealt with next time we meet.
I believe I've asked all that I need of this man. Now, for Detective Bad and the judge. You have to confirm who is correct, the judge or that scruff face, right? I suppose we should inspect the hallway in front of lobby number 2 next, then. I suppose so. Shall we head on over, Francisca? Yes, sir. So what direction is that? Is that here? Ah, yes. Hello, Judge. September 10th, District Court hallway.
So, did you see anything else? No, I don't think so. Missy, well, thanks for your cooperation. Oh, it's nothing. Just doing my duty as a defender of law. I'll be off for now. I'll ask again if I have any other questions. Anytime, Detective. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have a few loose ends I have to tie up.
Howdy.
Oh, you're the new prosecutor Mr. Von Karma recommended, right?
My name is Miles Edgeworth, Your Honor. I see the guy in the back checking underneath the machine. I got confused there for a second. It's just like, what the heck's that? And I'm Manfred Von Karma's daughter, Franziska Von Karma. I'm set to become the successor to my genius father any day now, Your Honor.
I see. Mr. New Prosecutor...
Jeez, give me some time to read.
I bit my tongue.
Are you alright, Your Honor? Please feel free to refer to me as just Miss Von Karma, Your Honor. As for him, just Edgeworth is fine. Apparently somebody doesn't feel that I'm worthy of a proper title.
Oh. Very well, then. I shall call you Miss Von Karma and Mr. Prosecutor Edgeworth.
Your Honor, Mr. Edgeworth is fine. Sir, now, about your earlier testimony?
Yes, what about it, Mr. Edgeworth?
I would like to ask you a few questions about what exactly you saw.
All right. After all, it's my duty to clarify my testimony as a defender of the law.
I greatly appreciate your cooperation, Your Honor. Now, the first thing I will need to do is figure out that detective's exact movements. Neato. So, you are hanging out next to the machine. Why? Did you find something, officer? I think there's a $5 bill back there. Come on, just a little bit more. You slacker. Although, if these people are being paid exactly the same amount as Gumshoe, I could see them being desperate for $5. Is that no one working this crime scene who isn't a total waste of living tissue? Unfortunately, there doesn't seem to be a single person we can deem useful here. Well, what about this dude? He seems to be powdering the door. Have you found any suspicious fingerprints, officer? Nope, just fingerprints of those involved with the case, sir. I guess we know all the players in the case then, huh? It would appear that way, but I haven't the nagging feeling that we're missing something. And I suspect that we're missing that what we're missing is hiding right here in this crime scene somewhere. Freaking nice poster. So the judge doubles as a model on the side. He's making a most ridiculous looking face. That may be, but at least he doesn't look like someone who would tell a lie on purpose. I suppose, but to a Von Karma, evidence is the only thing that carries any weight. Of course, at any rate, this poster seems to be of no use to us right now. Fire extinguisher. There are no signs that this fire extinguisher was used in the crime. If you could already tell from a distance, then why are you wasting your time examining it? Franziska, let's not try to rush an absolute genius. Yes, I need my time. Patience, sir, patience. Ooh, what do we have here? I'm gonna, actually, it looks like a flurry of ants, actually. that could literally be ants. I want to check out the machines first. It would appear that this vending machine sells snacks and various other foods. Factoid! That, you know, funny enough, it's going to come to light exactly why it is that's important, and I'm going to be going, oh! Just lovely. What will they think of next? Don't be a jerk in court like these beef jerks. One packet for $9. Jeez, that's expensive. That is some highway robbery. I feel like that is how the court actually makes their money. And that's a price point back from like 2009, so good God. I can see a ham sandwich being that price, but I don't know. Most jerky I've seen costs like $5, and that's sitting at the grocery store. Defendant's fresh milk. 1/2 pint for $7. Stay neutral as the Swiss do until the end with these. But just $6. They're awfully overpriced, yep. The lineup is simply awful, period. Speaking of snacks, I wonder if that Swiss roll the little girl dropped is from this machine. I was wondering about that myself. Jace, you could be spending your money so many other places, lady. Stay neutral, as the Swiss do, until the end with ease. The end of what? Well, I assume it means the end of the trial. I suppose that means that one should eat these during a recess. You can't eat during a trial, so I suppose the only time you can eat them is now, huh? I wouldn't mind if you wanted to eat one now. They come in packs of 2, after all. We're in the middle of investigation. Besides, I don't have $6 on me. If you want, we can pool our money and buy a pack together. If I have to split with you, then I don't want it. Yes, yes. All for me. I want to look at every single one of these. When you're in hot water, you might need a hot dog. What now? I could see hot water cooking a hot dog. So, in that light, yes. It looks like this slogan was decided through a public contest. And the winner was Prosecutor Winston Payne. Awesome. What a pathetic slogan. No presence at all. Now, if it was up to me, it would read, "If you leave matters in Von Karma's hands, everyone in court will be found guilty, dogs." That doesn't roll off the tongue. Overruled. Don't be a jerk in court like these beef jerks. I see. Miles Edgeworth, wouldn't you agree that it is a very clever pun? Do you really think that they put that much effort into the product name? Even a foolish fool could understand the foolish thinking of a fool who made it up. You're acting so foolishly that I got so thoroughly mad, and I'm now utterly famished. If you wanted a pack of these, all you had to do was ask like a noble person. Freaking ham sandwiches. Don't let the prosecution and the defense make a ham sandwich out of you. Sounds like it's directed at the ham of a judge. Well, it certainly isn't directed at me. I can outmaneuver him any day. Orange Julius. When it's looking bad, blind your opposition with some OJ. Are they promoting violence? Yeah, are we talking about OJ Simpson? if that is the case, that would fit very well in a murder trial. Don't worry, my whip will make sure that anybody following that advice won't be for long. Compared to the sting of a whip, the sting of orange juice may not be so bad. And then straight up milk. Defendant's fresh milk. I don't want to drink any milk coming from the defendants. Nope, that is not something I want. What exactly is that supposed to mean? I bet it means that the milk is freshly milked by various defendants on trial right now. No, I think it might mean that this was milk right here from the various defendants. Ew. Miles Edgeworth, you can't possibly be serious. Of course not. No, that is Flight of Fancy. Okay, so... Well, they have a credit card option here, so I suppose if you were desperate for a snack... See, I've already gone and pressed this, but... The end of what? I have no freaking clue. Alright. Funny enough, I thought maybe there would be something involved with fingerprints, like, you know, in touching any of these buttons, but I don't think that's the case. But now we have some information about the fact that you can get snacks from the thing. Doesn't look like there's anything contradictory left in this area. I suppose not. Perhaps I should check somewhere else. Really? I mean, you don't want to take a look at the drink machine as well? Get yourself a Sprite? Okay, well, we haven't had a conversation with you directly yet, but I wanted to take a look at more of the things around here. Dear God! I won't rest until I've inspected every suspicious-looking nook and cranny. What is this? What is this? It's a pink-colored piece of trash made of rubber? Strange. I feel like I've seen something like this before. Well, all I see is a piece of garbage. But you know, the fact that there is a litter running loose inside this courthouse is simply unforgivable. Don't whip me, please. It's not like it was I who littered. Rubbish belongings in a rubbish bin. Belongs, rather. Okay. A nice little plant. What's the matter? I pricked myself on one of these cactus's needles. I didn't think the needles on this thing would be so sharp. Well, what did you expect? Can you imagine how bad it would be if you were hit on the head by one of these? Anyway, this cactus seems to be unrelated to our case. Do you really think so? Because I believe that this cactus sitting on the windsill is completely related. I feel like this is a false positive. Oh, well, then I look forward to your explanation on how exactly it's related. I guess I gotta think back. Who would have been pricked by a cactus? I can look outside, however, I doubt the killer could have escaped through there. Of course not. This is the 3rd floor, after all. It appears that bars were installed on this to prevent people from falling out. Bars? What bars? Can you not see them from your vantage point? I must remember not to bring up that taboo subject again. Right. I mean, it doesn't really look like there's significant bars here, but... I mean, a little bit. A kid can definitely walk through here. I can look outside, however, I doubt the killer could have escaped through here. Of course not. This is the 3rd floor. Bars were installed. And just more of this stuff. Thought maybe the hitboxes were different. Alright. Let's look at this, shall we? The ants are hard at work carrying their food home. It's a marvel that they can pick up such comparatively large objects to their size. Well, if you want to carry the mighty Von Karma name and not be squashed under it, you better work extra hard, just like these ants. The same goes for you, Franziska. So what's on the floor? Oh, hello. Okay, well, let's take a look at this. Ants are pouring out of the hole in this bench as well. Oh, dear God. I wonder if the inside of this bench consists of nothing but ants. Don't you dare continue with that gross line of thought. I'm sorry. That is disgusting. What are these black speckles? I believe it's a pile of ants eating away. Oh, that detective claims that not a single ant slipped by him. And yet, here's a whole hill of them. Don't whip me for his mistakes. What are you hitting me for? As a replacement for that pathetic detective. Perhaps I should add this deduction to the detective's growing tab of pay cuts. Anyway, I wonder what the ants are eating. From the look and sweet smell of it, pieces of cake and chocolate from a Swiss roll. So wait. Did Faraday go and buy... Did Kay go and buy one of these things? Throw it on the floor? Just so that the ants had something to snack on? Admirable. I suppose that is absolutely something that the Yatagarasu would do. That makes sense. Now, Sedgwick. Courthouse is to be kept pristine at all times. You know, it wasn't me that dropped food on the ground. The courthouse must be kept clean. Oh, God. I'm gonna be bleeding by the end of this. She's whipped me so hard. The dirt on this bench. It smells like some sort of sweet substance. I can't believe there's someone going around dirtying the courthouse. For shame. Calm down, Franziska. Now, take a good look. Doesn't the smudge look kind of like a handprint to you? I suppose it could. Which means that perhaps we can lift the prints off the person who sullied the bench. I see. And then we'll know the identity of our mystery slob. You there, the lab technician. Could you please find out who this handprint belongs to? Sir, yes, sir. And hopefully he can make haste with that one. Oh, wow, he did make haste. I literally have the results after 3 seconds of looking at it. Got the results of the fingerprints analysis, sir. And do we know who they belong to? Sir, the fingerprints belong to Detective Gun... God damn it. Oh, interesting. Good work, officer. And there you have it. Yes, I suppose so. Now we know the identity of the person who dirtied the bench. I sense that you and I will be using this information in very different ways. Oh, dear God, why? Gumshoe, you freaking sewer rat. Alright, let's talk to the judge. Your Honor, I'd like to ask you a few questions, if you don't mind. Where were you at the time of the murder?
Do you suspect me of something?
No, nothing of the sort, Your Honor.
Very well. You may continue with your testimony.
It's not a testimony, Your Honor. You are very senile. Your Honor, it's your testimony I'm after.
Oh, I had no idea you were chasing after me or my testimony.
I'm getting the sense that I might want to avoid being in a trial run by this judge. Get used to him. Alright. So, time of the murder.
Let's see here. Now then, how should I put this? When you get to be my age, you need to pay more frequent visits to the restroom. If you go take a look through the window at the end of the hall, you'll see a small window. That is the window to the men's restroom.
There's a window in the restroom? That doesn't seem right. But okay.
In other words, you can see clearly into this hallway from the men's restroom. When I was going into the restroom, that detective, Gumshoe, is it? Well, he was standing in front of the vending machine buying something from it. However, and this I couldn't believe, when I was about to exit the restroom, there was not a soul in the hallway anymore.
Your Honor, if you could please calm down and explain it to me rationally.
Oh, I'm really sorry. Please, let me regain my composure. It was really suspicious. That's what my finely honed judge's intuition said. Although, well, until the murders occurred, I just sort of brushed it off.
You don't have a clue, do you? Apparently this judge doesn't understand the concept of staying calm. The restroom window, huh? Again, I have a question. Why does there have to be a window in the restroom? God, you remember, oh, I forget what story it was. There was a news story, I think in like France or something. There was this glass case where it was one-way glass so you can see to the outside of it, but nobody could see in. And inside of it was a bathroom. Why? Why would you ever want to do that? I wonder if you can really see the men's bathroom window from that one there. You can. I'm looking at it right now. I demand that you show me the view at once. Take your eyes and point them out the window, Miss Lady. I suspect that her height is what's limiting her ability to see. Oh, step on the ant-covered bench. It's probably all I'm going to find out from His Honor.
Mr. Edgeworth, may I return to my other duties now?
Yes, I'm sorry to have held you up. Thank you for your cooperation, Your Honor. Boy, I held him up the entire time I was just walking around looking at things. Whoops.
Anytime, Mr. Edgeworth, anytime.
Good day, sir. The judges in this country seem rather friendly. Yes, if not a little wishy-washy. And a pushover. That can change his mind on a dime. However, I hear that they are known to hand down very fair verdicts. Right. So now let's get to you, Detective Bad, I have something I wish to inquire about. Hey! How about doing some actual work, you? I wish to inquire into Detective Gumshoe's movements during the recess.
You're getting in the way of the investigation.
Oh, really? Am I? Or am I getting my head directly into it? I think that's the exact same thing. Regardless, I'm suspicious of you. I have an order from Mr. Von Karma himself. Plus, I still hold investigative authority. Yep. You're screwed. So, I hear you were the one who called for Detective Gumshoe to come down here.
Faraday, that guy was just accused, you know. I just knew something was gonna happen. My detective instinct told me.
A lot of good it did you. Couldn't even protect one lone prosecutor with it. Oh dear. He is gonna pistol whip the shit out of you. Franziska, I think you need to apologize. I'm sorry. Wow, that's the first time I've ever seen, like, her get an apology. It's very difficult to, like, pull an apology out of her. I'm terribly sorry, Detective Bad. Please continue. That is a death stare.
I used the phone on the first floor and called the precinct. I told them to send somebody over. And that detective's the one they showed up.
And only upon his arrival did you set Detective Gumshoe to stand guard, Detective Bad?
Yeah. I waited for him on the first floor. After he got here, we came up to these defendant lobbies together.
Flashback.
As we entered the hallway, we ran into you. She told us that Faraday was really mad. And that he dragged Rel off to lobby number 2 to have a word or something. And that Faraday had said to not let anyone interrupt them. So what choice did I have? All I could do was tell the big lug to stand guard outside.
And around what time did all of that take place?
Let's see, I think it was about 30 minutes before I heard the gunshot. After giving the big lug his assignment, he never left the hallway. Not once.
Oh, and how can you make such a claim?
One of the guards out in this floor's main lobby swore to me he didn't.
If the detective never left the hallway, then where did he disappear off to? That's simple. He must have gone into lobby number 2, just as I suspected.
You and we were in lobby number 1 next door. The only one without an alibi is Gumshoe.
Could have been leaning on a wall or something. I don't know. There are places that he... Well, okay. Who was it that passed through here at any given point in time? Boy, it's so hard to remember every tiny little speck of this case when you split it up between weeks. It would seem that I am still missing some key piece of information. Ooh, the gunshot. Detective Bad, you also heard the gunshot, did you not?
Yeah. I heard it when I was in the defendant lobby number 1. That's why I came running towards lobby number 2 together with you.
How much time elapsed between you hearing the gunshot and your arrival on the scene?
Less than a minute.
What were your movements upon hearing the gunshot?
I grabbed Big Lug, who was just walking around the hall, and raced into lobby number 2. And that's when we discovered the bodies. In that order.
That makes you the discoverer of the crime scene, right?
Yeah, guess it does, little miss.
I'm about to become a prosecutor very soon. You will treat me with dignity I deserve, or else.
You wave that thing around anymore, and I'll have you arrested for obstruction, little miss.
You wouldn't dare.
Just joking.
Detective Bad is really something if he can make Franziska behave.
Are we about done?
Is there anything else I should ask about? All right. I don't know. I've gone pretty far. I'm gonna actually save here, just in case I can only ask one thing. Probably doesn't make a difference, but whatever. Get into the habit of saving at places that it's important. Boink. Okay. Time he heard the gunshot. Place he heard the gunshot. Situation around the gunshot. I mean, I guess having one more time on our hands would help. I'm suspicious of anything that this guy says, so I kind of want to ask him a question that's really out there. I mean, the place he heard the gunshot is obviously going to be in lobby number 1. Time he heard the gunshot, I feel like this might be a really good, psychosis kind of thing. Situation around the gunshot. I'd like to know a little more about the circumstances under which you heard the gunshot. Like I said, I was in lobby number 1 with you. I have nothing else to add. Well, his testimony certainly corroborates what Miss Yu said. Miles, you already asked him about that, remember? I suppose I should ask about something. Oh, shit. Oh, damn it. Okay. Time, fine. I'd like for you to tell me the exact time you heard the gunshot. It was around the end of the recess, and the trial was about to start again, I think. He was supposed to make time for himself to transfer the evidence he was holding. But I got the sense he wasn't going to show for the handoff. So I figured I should go get him, or he'd be late. And just as I thought that, bang! Sound of a gunshot hit my eardrums. So he heard the gunshot right before the trial was about to restart, huh? Ahem. Interesting. Are we done here? I don't have any time to waste. Oh. Oh, come on! All you're doing is standing in front of this door, doing nothing. Don't test him. I'm gonna give you 7 years bad luck. I get the sense that he is somewhat investigating this crime scene. Or rather that he's keeping us under surveillance. But to what end? Detective Bad, may I ask that you cooperate with us for just a bit longer? I don't have anything else to say to the two of you. You guys were the ones who said you wanted to investigate in the first place. Fine then. Be obstinate. We'll just do as we please. Come on, Miles. You may no longer be willing to help us, however, may I ask for the forensic scientist's cooperation? Do as you like. I mean, you don't really have too much power over this. I do. Woo! Okay, well, I mean, we have already done a whole bunch of forensics work, so at this stage, I think we might be... Oh my god, that's a lot of stuff we could deduce. Right, so... Swiss roll of crumbs. We can deduce that this came from the vending machine. I mean, I know it's gonna amount to something, but I guess I'm just gonna wait. These bits of chocolate and cake, could they not have come from a Swiss roll? A Swiss roll? Why would a courthouse sell anything like that? We were literally standing in front... Fine. Whatever. It may not seem like the right venue, however, it is being sold right over there. The vending machine. Ah, I see. Stay neutral as the Swiss do until the end with these. 2 for 6? Talk about expensive. Leaving the fact that it's on the expensive side aside, the fact that the cake crumbs and chocolate bits were found in this hallway suggests that they came from a Swiss roll that was purchased from this machine. Boy, and Gumshoe bought that? Dear God, he does not have the salary to be buying expensive cake rolls. I think I have a pretty clear picture of what happened here now. Naturally. After all, I'm here, aren't I? Detective Gumshoe must have sat on the bench as he ate a Swiss roll. Aha! Yes, that's what I was thinking. Like, maybe if he ducks down, no one will see him. And as he ate, he dropped it on the floor and sullied the bench. How could he not have cleaned up after himself? How utterly despicable.
Don't you dare whip me again! It wasn't I who made the mess in the first place!
Anyway, if it was indeed Detective Gumshoe, who bought the Swiss roll? That creates a rather interesting contradiction of facts. A contradiction? Where? Well, not really, because if he got that bonus check, that's $5. Oh, wait. That dollar. That's it. I think another look at the special courthouse vending machine is in order. I see. Thanks for the hint, game. Every suspicious looking nook and cranny. Right. Deduce. Oh, it's connected. And it happens to be the sad little bonus. I love how he was the bonus to buy himself a Swiss cake roll. That is some sadness. About Detective Gumshoe's finances, he said that until this morning, he didn't have even a single penny on his personage. Just how poor is that guy? If his bonus really was only $5, then he should not have been able to purchase a pack of Swiss rolls. However, facts being as they are, we found cake crumbs on the floor. Meaning Scruffy must have bought a pack somehow. Indeed. That detective should not have been able to purchase a pack, and yet he did. The question is, how? I can piece it together. Alright, so we connected those things. And now we have lobby number 2 window. Cactus. A pink piece of trash. Piece of pink trash found on the windsill hallway, made of rubber. Is that a part of Faraday's outfit? I'm very confused. I don't know. Also, another question. Like, what? How is that cactus related? No human can climb through these barred windows. The scent of flowers is in the air. Potted cactus sitting on the hallway windowsill. Its needles are dangerous. I think... Okay, so I think what the connection is. I think the cactus might have been just sharp enough to be able to tear a piece of rubber or clothing. And hence why this is here. And perhaps this is a... Maybe it's a balloon or something? Since it's a rubber thing? Let's see. Oh yeah, didn't Faraday have a balloon? I think that might have been it. Anyways. This pink rubbery substance. I saw this in a different form earlier today. I believe this is a piece of a popped balloon. I suppose that's possible. The balloon probably got a little too close to our friend, the windowsill cactus. That would be the logical conclusion, yes? Gotcha. Balloon. Investigation complete. And full health. Whatever that does for me. I mean, a tiny smidgen. I believe I now have a very firm grasp on what happened here. Well, I do too. All right, Francisca. Would you care to share what conclusions you've come to? Why should I do that? We're still in the middle of a competition, you know. We should be checking to see if your conclusions are wrong first, so you go ahead. It's almost cute that she's going this far to ensure that she wins. Almost. Very well, but first we need to pay His Honor a visit to correct his testimony. Ooh, where's he at? Oh, cool, we're in the courtroom. September 10th, 5:15 p.m. District Court, courtroom number 3. Your Honor, if I may, I'd like to test your witness testimony to see how it stands up.
Do you doubt me? Am I your new suspect?
In a sense, I suppose you could say that. Even you, a judge, is nothing but a common witness before a Von Karma.
Silence in the courtroom! Silence, I said! Mr. New Prosecutor and Genius Prosecutor, successor, Jesus Christ.
You bit your tongue again, didn't you?
As a defender of the law, I could never give false testimony. You can even place me under oath if you want.
Very well, then. Your testimony, if you please. A battle of wits with the judge. I think this is going to be easy.
During the recess, I went to the restroom. There's a window on this, on the hallway side. In other words, I could see into the hallway. As I entered, I saw that detective buying something from the vending machine. But when I was about to exit the restroom, he had completely disappeared. A detective that goes missing while on duty. That sounds mighty suspicious to me.
We got the answer. I'm just trying to figure out how we're going to get to it. Your Honor, can you please try to remain calm?
No. I'm so used to simply listening to testimonies that I got caught up in the excitement.
He is all about his dramas. I'm sorry, Your Honor, but I'm afraid I'm going to have to spoil your fun now. Rebuttal. Recess. Went to the restroom. I'm going to save. Just so that we have some kind of a safety net. Lodal. Drink. So we got it. I went to the restroom. Why am I questioning this? Okay. Your Honor, why exactly did you pay a visit to the restroom? What? Are you an idiot?
Well, isn't it obvious? What else do you go to the restroom for? Or maybe I knew it! You suspect me of some sort of tomfoolery, don't you?
Please stay calm, Your Honor. This is going to be much harder than I anticipated.
I'm sorry. You're right. I need to think things through with a level head. I'm just nervous because so much has happened today with this trial. Let's see here. I announced a recess and a time for us to reconvene. But having done all that, I still wasn't able to go to the restroom right away.
And why couldn't you?
Mr. Faraday had been accused, so I had paperwork to process regarding a new prosecutor. Once I'd finished that, I was finally able to make a mad dash to the restroom.
At least he stayed consistent on the going to the restroom part of the testimony.
There's a window on the hallway inside. In other words, I could see into the hallway.
Your Honor, did you really go to the men's restroom?
What's the meaning of that statement?
I simply meant that perhaps you went to a restroom on a different floor.
I had to go for such a long time. It was all I could do to dash to the closest one of the courtroom, to the courtroom.
I suppose that's only natural given his circumstance.
I ran from the courtroom, through this floor's main lobby, and down to the hallway. Once you enter, you can see there's a window just above the urinals. And it was through...
Wait. Good God. It just said in my head, there's a window just above the goddamn urinals. What is wrong with this country? It's supposed to be my own country, and I do not understand it. And it was through that window that you witnessed Detective Gumshoe, Your Honor.
Yes, exactly!
Your Honor, there's no need to yell. I can hear you just fine. Speak for yourself. Edgeworth speaks all... he yells all the time.
Well, I guess I put a little too much into that last answer. Now then, let's continue with the testimony. As I entered, I saw that detective buying something from the vending machine.
Are you sure that the person you witnessed was Detective Gumshoe, Your Honor?
Yes, I'm absolutely sure. It's hard to miss someone of his stature, even from as far away as the restroom. Besides, I can't think of anyone else with that kind of hairstyle and big beige coat.
I could think of one, but whatever. We'll move on. We'll get to that when we get to that. Well, I was simply wondering if you were mistaken in what you saw.
What? Preposterous! My eyes are sharp as they can be, ready to see through lies to the truth. Although recently things do seem to be a bit fuzzier than they used to be. Clearly his eyes are not the only things that have gone fuzzy. But allow me to say, with all the honor and dignity of a judge, I am not mistaken in what I saw. But when I was about to exit the restroom, he had completely disappeared.
He disappeared? But, Your Honor, didn't you just say, I saw that detective buying something from the vending machines?
Why, yes, I did. The restroom window looks over the courtyard and right into the hallway. But just as I was about to exit and zip up the fly, I took another look and there was no one in sight. That led me to the only solution to this mystery. That detective must have gone into the crime scene, lobby number 2, at that point!
So he looked into the hallway from the restroom and over the courtyard, did he?
A detective that goes missing while on duty. That sounds mighty suspicious to me!
Your Honor, I ask that you please remain calm.
No. I'm perfectly calm.
You're being anything but perfectly calm.
It appears that His Honor could not have been mistaken in what he saw.
I suppose so, given his line of sight. However, Franziska, why do you suppose our line of sights are so different?
If you're referring to my height.
Can't you hold that whip still for just a second?
Now, about his honest testimony. I believe his line of sight to be an important factor.
If it's that important, why don't you hurry up and tell him already?
I will, but there is one more thing I need to do if I am to correct his honest testimony. I'm going to need to retrace Detective Gumshoe's movements. Alright, so there's all that stuff and nothing seemed to get unlocked. I know exactly what we're supposed to be doing. Went to the restroom. There's a window on the hallway side. As I entered, I saw the detective buying something from the vending machines. When I was about to exit the restroom, he had completely disappeared. Right. And I believe when I was about to exit the restroom, he had completely disappeared. I think I have a explanation for that one. Yes!
What was that finger wag for me, What was that finger wag for, Mr. Edgeworth? For me? And don't you know it's rude to shout objection while someone is giving testimony?
I mean, yes, but if there's an objection... If you truly are a man of the law, then you must always be vigilant. For example, I myself never let an opportunity to shout objection pass me by.
Miles Edgeworth, it's one thing to be passionate about your job, but this is real life.
This is what some people may say is the pot calling the kettle black. Your Honor, I wonder if you might take a look at this for me?
What is that filth? How dare someone dirty the hallway bench like that? Who's the culprit? The party is hereby found guilty of uncleanliness.
If you must know, the uncouth bench sullier has already been placed under arrest thanks to your earlier testimony, Your Honor.
Oh, well, that's good, but who was it?
We were able to discover something from the smudge on the bench, namely Detective Gumshoe's fingerprints.
Not happy with committing just murder. He had to go and dirty the courthouse too. Guilty!
I think you missed the point, Your Honor. Your Honor, please calm down. While it's true the detective is the one who made the mess on the bench, we have not yet established that this action is related to the double murder.
What do you mean?
I believe that the detective bought a pack of Swiss rolls from the vending machine, and then promptly sat down on the bench to eat one. Yes. The cake crumbs and pieces of chocolate on the floor under the bench, and Detective Gumshoe's fingerprints prove my conclusions to be true.
Oh, but I still don't understand. Is this whole thing related to how I couldn't see him as I was leaving the restroom?
It is indeed. The window in the hallway was built rather high up to the wall, at around a grown adult's chest height. As evidence, I submit that Franziska herself was unable to see out of that window. Wow, you are going to get so much whipping after this. Oh no, you're going to get whipping right now. Whoa, that was delayed. I shouldn't have used to hide his evidence. But basically, what this means is that the area directly under the hallway window is a blind spot when the hallway is being viewed from the men's restroom.
Then...
It seems that you have made the connection. If someone were to sit on the bench under the window... Yes, even someone as large as Detective Gumshoe would effectively disappear from sight!
What?
Do you finally see, Your Honor? Your testimony has just proven that Detective Gumshoe was in the hallway the entire time. Oh dear.
Sorry. I didn't mean to say it with that much enthusiasm.
But well appreciated.
All I wanted to do was try saying it once. Here, let me try that again. Hold it!
Is there something of value that you'd like to say?
Yes, actually, there is. I remembered something else just now. Mr. Edgeworth, please allow me to testify to the court one more time.
Even if we overrule him, he'd just keep on talking, wouldn't he? Yes. That might not be a bad thing. The more info, the better in a perfect investigation, right? Right, more juicy gossip from the judge. What I saw, part 2.
I suppose it's possible you can't see a seated person from the restroom window. However, that doesn't mean that the detective was sitting there when I looked. Anyway, I forgot to testify earlier about probably the most important detail. As I was leaving the restroom, I heard a loud bang of a gunshot.
He heard it too? Uh-oh.
How was that? That is the testimony of one who judges the crimes of others.
Your Honor, could you try to state the important facts first next time? I agree. Before you go around judging others, you should learn to judge your own words.
I'm sorry. But honestly, I thought that sound was just a noise popper until just now.
Now that he mentions it, right before we restarted that trial, he did talk about that.
Oh, by the way, was there someone celebrating a birthday during recess? I could have sworn that I heard a popper going off. Come to think of it, the other day when my grandson...
The most critical point in this argument is when did the judge look into the hallway? And whether that lines up with when the gun was actually fired. Your Honor, if I may, I'd like to clarify a few details in your testimony. I think I got an idea where this is going. And it's kind of clever. Though it does explain an interesting little extra bit of detail that is there for really some very strange reason. I do wonder if maybe I commented on the extra little bit of detail, but let's get to that. It's possible you can't see a seated person from the restroom window. In that case, do you concede that you were overconfident in your last testimony?
Now hold on there. I just said that it's possible you can't see a seated person from the restroom this time. But you know something? I don't think you know when the prints you referenced were left on that bench, do you?
Sharp. Very sharp.
While you have proven that it's possible that the detective was sitting, I still have a problem with just when those fingerprints were left.
He's right. I have yet to prove when the fingerprints were left on the bench. While he feigns ignorance, his honor has seen a lot of life. This judge, I mustn't underestimate him. No.
However, that doesn't mean that the detective was sitting there when I looked.
As we established, you went to the restroom during the recess. However, at what point in the recess did you look into that hallway?
After I called for a recess, I handled the change of prosecutor paperwork. Maybe about 20 minutes until we reconvened. Yes, that sounds about right.
Just as I suspected.
What were you expecting? And I demand to know what that all-knowing smile is for.
Your Honor, that statement you made just now is very important. I'd like for you to append it to your testimony.
All right, if you insist. Let's see, I looked into that hallway about 20 minutes before we were to reconvene.
I think I'm supposed to present something to that, but... 20 minutes before we reconvened. Very well. What did you do after that?
Let's see, I had to make some preparations, so I rushed straight back to the courtroom. I also had to track down a few pieces of paperwork for the various bailiffs.
So you rushed back to the courtroom, despite having just heard a gunshot?
Well, at the time, I thought it was just the sound of a noise popper. I really couldn't think of any other explanation than someone having a birthday party. But now that this has happened...
I see. Thinking back, the judge did mention something to that effect when we reconvened.
Anyway, I forgot to testify earlier about the probably the most important detail.
If it's something that forgettable, I don't need to hear it.
But all I did was forget to mention it.
That sort of excuse may work on other people, but not on a Von Karma.
But it's such an important piece of testimony. Please give me a chance to present it.
Oh, he's such a child in like... Oh, how old is he? 150? I suppose I have no choice in the matter.
As I was leaving the restroom, I heard a loud bang of a gunshot.
Your Honor, about what you just said.
I know, I couldn't believe it either. Bang went the gunshot, and then I had a knee-jerk reaction, like this, yeah, just like this, with a quick...
Your Honor, please remain calm when you're trying to explain yourself to me.
Yes, sir. Sorry about that. Now then, I must gather myself, yes? When I heard the gunshot, there was no one in the hall. I should know, I looked. There was no one there.
Tabloid gossip nonsense. I really do feel like this is like he's been reading magazines involved with UFOs.
Just because it's like, it looks like it's some kind of a reflection, but it's actually a UFO.
Judge's emotion circuits appear to be stuck on overreact. I believe that we finally found the flaw in his honest testimony.
Yet sadly, he's completely oblivious to it. But I guess I can't really expect him to be aware of it. Well, what are you waiting for? Hurry up and fill him in. At least that thing finally came in handy.
Indeed. Now, let's see what happens when I present it to his honor. Right, I'm pretty sure it's got right, it has something to do with looked into the hallway about 20 minutes before we reconvened, and there's got to be a piece of evidence. Oh, hello Mario, how's it going? I am currently drilling the judge at the current moment, and then I just walked around outside the hallway for a while. Sideways judge is weird. Yeah, I know. He looks a lot more rock solid. I think is a good word. Like very broad shoulders. Anyway, heard the gunshot right before the trial was about to start again. Hey. You're right. What?
I cannot allow you to make an objection.
What? Your Honor, I'm really sorry, but I cannot allow you to not allow me to make an objection.
He can't, I've been overruled!
Your Honor, there are simply too many holes in your testimony for my taste.
What do you mean by that?
You claim that you heard the gunshot during the recess, but that is simply not possible.
Mr. New Prosecutor, recommended by Manfred von...
Instead of biting your tongue... Oh, missed that. I see you have no mercy for the elderly of the Francisca.
Don't talk back to me unless you want to be whipped in the back.
With your height, you'd need a stepladder or 4 to accomplish that.
Mr. Edgeworth, my ears are not that far gone yet. I'll have you know, I can still hear just fine. And I heard the sound of a gunshot loud and clear with my own 2 ears.
Your Honor, I have here an interesting bit of testimony. It's from Detective Bad, and according to him, he heard the gunshot right before the trial was about to start again.
What did you say?
Your Honor, you just said that you heard the gunshot about 20 minutes before we were to reconvene. How do you explain this glaring contradiction?
That can't be!
Unfortunately, that is the truth.
But I heard it clear as day. Bang! The loud sound of a gunshot.
The sound of a gunshot. We keep returning to this point of contention, and that piece of evidence. I always did wonder why I found it where I did. However, now I understand what the gunshot the judge heard really was. Unfortunately, Your Honor, this is what really produced the gunshot you heard. Yeah. Boy, how do you confuse a gunshot with a balloon? But, sure. Actually, I could mistake a balloon popping with a party popper, so there we go. I found this object in the hallway earlier.
What is that pink substance?
It may not look it, but this is actually a piece of a balloon.
I see. And I suppose you would like me to accept that pink balloon into the court record?
Your Honor, I present this piece of evidence in order to overrule your testimony.
What?
Your Honor, your argument goes as follows. You saw no one in the hallway when you heard the gunshot. Now, there's no guarantee that the detective was sitting on the bench at the time. Therefore, you believe he must have been at the crime scene, defendant lobby number 2? Am I correct?
Nod. Yes, that's exactly right.
Let me ask you something. Do you think that the gunshot you heard was produced by a real gun? I think I've said enough that even you can figure out the rest on your own. Your Honor, you were fooled by the popping of this balloon into thinking it was a gunshot.
What manner of trickery is this?
That was a good effort you put forth, Miles Edgeworth. But if it was me, I'd have wrapped this whole thing up before the judge even testified.
Care to elaborate on how one ends something before it even begins?
Well, to be honest, I did think that the sound was a bit off from a real gunshot sound. But who could have guessed that someone would pop a balloon in a place like this?
That's true. One doesn't usually think balloons in conjunction with courthouse. Do you think guns in conjunction with courthouse? Maybe on a soap opera?
I want to trade these coins with you.
That's it? That balloon girl the balloon that girl was holding. It explains everything. Your Honor, if it makes you feel any better, you didn't lie once in your testimony. However, I can't really vouch for its accuracy.
Who knew that giving testimony could be such a difficult thing to do?
And now you've learned a valuable lesson. Pat on the back.
What have I done? I owe Detective Gumshoe a very, very big apology. I will see to it myself that he is released.
Wait. there are still a few things I have yet to resolve about what happened in the hallway, rather. Almost a testimony. Your Honor, I request your permission to further question Detective Gumshoe.
But why? I thought we just cleared his name.
Whether we did just now or not, I still cannot say. The only thing I can do for now is to continue in my quest for the perfect explanation. And to that end, I must resolve the remaining issues pertaining to the events that occurred in the hallway.
Very well. Bailiff, please bring Detective Gumshoe into the courtroom.
I must fulfill my mission and find the perfect explanation for this case. Cool. Let's talk to the lovable loaf. September 10th, District Court, courtroom number 3. Yo.
Ooh, what is it now? Is it time for my trial already? I've already told you a gazillion times, pal, I didn't do it!
I'll be the judge of that, Detective Gumshoe. No, you won't. I'll be the judge of that.
No. I'm the judge around here, and I'll be the judge of that.
Everybody's a critic.
Why can't you guys be a little less judgmental? Yes, well, speaking of hasty judgments, Detective Gumshoe, I'm afraid I must apologize for my error in judgment on my part.
Your Honor, I don't believe you should apologize just yet. We have yet to prove he is completely innocent of this crime.
I guess so.
What are you guys talking about? In any case, I would like you to testify as to your actions while you were on guard duty. And please, remember, you are not on trial. This is all just a part of the investigation. As such, you may still be found to be innocent. However, if you should give false testimony...
Oh, dang. It's you!
My whip will object, loud and clear. If you are found to be lying, you will be held indefinitely. Understood?
I got you, pal.
Thinking back on the state of the crime scene and the judge's testimony, it's obvious that Detective Gumshoe is lying. And if I can't break his lie, then we may never get a break in this case. Once again, if we were in a situation where I had a Magatama, we would have this just over and done with.
I came down here to this courthouse on Detective Bad's orders. As soon as I got here, he ordered me to stand guard in front of lobby number 2. From that time on, until I heard the gunshot, I was in that hallway the whole time. On my honor as a detective, I swear it wasn't me, pal.
We'll see. He's still singing the same tired tune. At least he's consistent. In that case, I'll just have to change the melody. I know he's lying, and it's time I pulled the information I need out of him. Reboot. Right again, I will save. Doing good on my health, and I have actually been firing the proper shots today. Good. Done. Okay. So, came down here to this courthouse on Detective Bad's orders. So, was it really Detective Bad who called you down here?
You bet it was, pal. I was left in charge of the precinct while everyone was out, and this call comes in. I want you down here in 1 minute flat, he said. Well, I thought this was my big chance, my first case, so I made a mad dash down here.
And you were a watchdog.
Although I couldn't exactly get here in a minute flat.
So how long did it take you?
About 10 minutes, I guess.
And what was Detective Bad doing when you finally made it?
He was waiting for me down on the first floor, in the entryway, pal.
That lines up properly.
As soon as I got here, he ordered me to stand guard in front of lobby number 2.
And by he, you mean Detective Bad, of course. And this being my first time at this courthouse, he also walked with me up to the 3rd floor hallway in front of the defendant's lobbies. And did you meet anyone along the way? Just as we entered the hallway, we ran into Miss Yu. When he heard from Miss Yu that Mr. Faraday was not to be interrupted, that's when Detective Bad told me to stand guard in the hallway, pal. So far, Detective Gumshoe's testimony is matching up with Detective Bad's. So I guess we need to find the part of the testimony that it don't. From that time on until I heard the gunshot, I was in the hallway the whole time. You claim to have been in that hallway the, quote, whole time. However, is it not a fact that you did something while you were in that hallway? Of course I did something. I guarded the door to hall lobby number 2, pal. What else? Very well then. And what exactly does guarding that door entail? Well, to put it simply... No, I know. It was my job to stand in front of the door without moving an inch. And you moved several inches. Oh? Detective Gumshoe, you mean to tell me that you didn't take a single step away from the door to lobby number 2? Is that really what you wish to testify to the effect of? You got it, pal. I didn't take a single step away from that door, just like I was ordered not to. My thoughts exactly. Durf. Well, why is everyone so quiet all of a sudden? Because we're all in shock. And in awe of your utter stupidity. Scruffy! If you're going to lie, at least tell us a more believable one! Don't! But I'm not lying! I should hurry up and bring this insipid testimony to a close. And until I heard the gunshot, I didn't take a single step away from lobby number 10. Nope. I'm ending this now. Alright. So the proof is in the pudding. Or the cake roll. I have an objection. What is it, pal? Detective Gumshoe, I wonder if you might recognize this from somewhere. Hey, it's one of those things. The courthouse special Swiss rolls, right, pal? Precisely. In that case, I suppose that you also recall the sullied hallway bench? Hey, you know what? I think it was probably me that did that. Detective Gumshoe, you know you can't go around dirtying up the courthouse like this. Pennies, Your Honor. That is pennies at this stage. You inconsiderable, slovenly pig! I promise to clean it up later, I swear! No, the ants are doing a very fine job at that. You just leave them alone. Now then, shall we get down to business? About the fact you didn't move even a single step from in front of that door? If that really were the case, then how were you able to buy a pack of Swiss rolls? It walked up to me, pal. Did you?
Furthermore, if you didn't move a single step from in front of that door, how did you manage to get that bench dirty with your grubby hands?
I love Young Shu. I don't know, he's even more of a derp than when he's younger. Less knowledge. It appears that Franziska's whip can do more damage than my words alone can. All right. I confess, pal. I was hungry, so I bought a pack for myself, okay? I thought I'd get chewed out again if anyone found out about me eating on the job. So I didn't want to say anything. You've been chewed out like 20 times over, though. Good God. Well, unfortunately for you, I saw you do the whole dastardly deed. I clearly saw you buying a pack of Swiss rolls from the vending machine. Okay. I'm sorry for lying. You like how Youngsworth has a lot of the same mannerisms as Manfred. I did notice that. That's been in a couple of different games where he does have some, like he does the whole wink thing, which is something that he doesn't do in any of the future games.
Well, that's all I'm sorry for. You got that? Because I'm not holding anything else back.
That last statement may sound like it makes sense. However, there's something I don't quite believe about it. Are you sure you're not withholding further information from us?
Of course not. I've got nothing else to hide, pal. Like,
Oh, if only that were true, Detective Gumshoe.
but it is true, pal. I swear, there's nothing else.
Detective Gumshoe, I'm sure you are aware of the price of a pack of Swiss rolls, correct?
Remind me again, pal.
That vending machine out in the hallway is selling packs of 2 Swiss rolls for $6 a pack.
And yet, according to you, you didn't have any cash on you until you cashed your $5 annual bonus check. Isn't that right? Oh. It's all washing in slowly. Let me ask then, how did you manage to purchase a pack all by yourself? Can you provide me with a proper explanation to that?
I told you I bought it by myself, pal. I'm a big boy. There wasn't anyone else in the hallway with me. So there's no one who could have helped me buy it. Wait, don't tell me. You got some kind of proof that there was someone else in the hallway, don't you?
Correct.
As if you could. I mean, what are the chances of that?
Wait, you do? Of course I do.
What? How?
What proof do I have that there must have been someone else there in the hallway? Oh, simple.
What the heck is that? I knew you didn't really have anything. Oops. You prosecutors are all the same. Always lying to people. You should stop, you know. I refuse to be lectured by the likes of you, detective.
Miles, how long do you plan on being strung along by this moronic detective?
Hey, I've been doing pretty good up to this point, so shut your trap. I have no intention of falling for his lie, because there was definitely a second person. Because if he was truly alone all along, then that piece of evidence should not exist. Well, the balloon. The balloon would not exist if there was only 2. Fine, okay. What would it actually be then? Okay, so it's not that. The Swiss roll again, because yeah, technically that he shouldn't have that if that were the case. Oh yeah, on guard duty, didn't hear her sign of struggle. Meh.
The knife.
God, I don't know. Okay, is this real? Is this fake? I don't know.
Hey, you showed me that to me not 2 seconds ago, pal.
I think you're under the mistaken impression that I bought this pack of rolls.
Wait, if you didn't buy it, that means you must have stolen it. You thief! I would never do such a thing. All you liars are the same. You start out as thieves. You're under arrest, pal.
I believe you meant to assert that all thieves start out as liars. And in that case, what does that say about you, detective? This particular Swiss roll was dropped by a certain someone.
Oh.
There were 2 rolls in the package. You ate one of them, but you then gave the other one to a certain other person, didn't you?
No way, pal. You've got it all wrong. I ate both of them.
Howdy, Missy. Yeah, that's what I thought. It would appear that we've caught you at last.
Hey, don't you dare do anything bad to that girl.
It would appear that they do know each other after all. So, why do you continue to come up to me and kick me? Have I wronged you somehow?
I have a name, and it's Kay.
Kay what?
Kay Faraday?
Faraday? Are you perhaps Mr. Faraday's daughter?
I'm not a you. I'm Kay.
Kay. You know, good little girls don't kick other people. She is kind of like a cat, moving back and forth. Especially not hard enough to leave big, nasty bruises like the way you do.
Well, then you shouldn't have put Gummy under arrest, mister.
Gummy? My guess is that she's talking about Detective Gumshoe.
What a cute nickname you've given him. Gummy didn't do anything wrong!
Okay.
It would appear that I will need to speak with her in a bit more detail. Adorbs. Can I just randomly walk through the courtroom? Probably not. I don't know why. Why? Okay. It's the defense attorney's bench. I'd probably be standing on this side of the court. Oh. Ah, crap. I missed that. Hold on. Hold up. No. I want to know what all this stuff says. Wait a minute. Probably be standing on this side of the courtroom if that incident hadn't happened. Oh, yeah, that one.
What are you talking about? Lately, the more wrinkly your face becomes, the less I'm able to read what you're thinking.
Well, I never. I'll have you know I don't have a single wrinkle upon my youthful brow. Several people have called out for wrinkles, so. And then we have this side.
Any day now, I'll be taking my rightful place behind this bench.
By that time, I should already be standing here.
It'd be downright disgraceful if I beat you to it, wouldn't it?
If that were to happen, Franziska, I'll eat my cravat. Alright, I guess I could theoretically talk to everybody, but I don't know why. It appears that we've caught you red-handed eating a Swiss roll.
Look, I'm sorry about lying to you, pal.
And, do you have nothing else to say?
Sure do. It was a fluffy and sweet and big.
Oh, it was perfection, pal.
And only worth every penny of my bonus.
No, it was not. Good God, it's like spending your entire paycheck on, like, Doritos. Actually, no, not even that, because at least you get more Doritos out of $5. I see. Well, good for you, detective.
I can't believe it, but it's almost funny when a fool is this unbelievably foolish.
And there's the judge. Hey, I could leave. What is even... Well, I'm not going to get an opportunity to do this too often. Wow, and now I'm up here.
This must be the judge's desk. You can tell by the gavel sitting on top.
I had a dream once that I was being squashed from above by this gavel.
You're such a weakling, Miles Edgeworth.
You have no idea how frightening it was. I guess that's a recurring dream for a lot of people. What else is here? I don't know.
It's the viewing gallery. This is where the riffraff sit where they come to watch.
It's situated at the same height as the judge's bench. I wonder if that's to represent the intense scrutiny of each and every case from all sides.
Miles Edgeworth, are you not man enough to stand up to all those eyes?
What sort of... Of course I'm man enough. I guess. Doesn't that dream sound familiar? Yes, indeed it does.
You are no longer capable of holding that title.
What have I done wrong? Now then, Kay. She's
like a stray cat.
Well, she is now that father is dead. But I wonder if I should feed her something. Oh. Wanna roll? Okay, I promise to give this to you if you calm down. Oh, a Swiss roll. That was quick. It really belongs to you, though, doesn't it?
Yeah, I was saving it for Daddy.
Collar pull. Feed her the body of her dad. I mean, she's a kitten, so clearly she might actually do that.
Oh my!
Your father... He's...
Don't you say another word, pal! She doesn't know yet!
Thanks for watching out for me, Gummy. But I already know about Daddy. I overheard the guards talking.
Oh, damn it.
About how Daddy's... he's not here anymore.
I'm sorry. I couldn't protect them.
Okay.
I'm not gonna cry.
I'm not gonna... Oh, damn it. Don't make me have feels. Cry! Oh. It's alright, let it all out. Your father just passed away after all. I myself was also involved in a case at this courthouse when I was a young child. A case in which my father, who was a defense attorney, passed away. All of my dreams of becoming a lawyer were crushed into a fine ash on that nightmarish day. Even now, the wound festers deep in the depths of my soul. Ever since that incident, I've dedicated myself to locking away every criminal I can. And now, to have this happen right in front of me. This child. I feel a certain shared fate, a common bond between us. You don't know the half of it! Miles Edgeworth, what sort of gentleman are you? Are you gonna just stand there and watch a lady cry? You're right. Sorry about that. Okay, here, how about we use this handkerchief here and dry your little eyes? Great. No! My cravat! Don't blow your nose on that! I feel better now. Thanks. Damn it. Somebody, get me a washer! Or a new cravat. It's just something. It would have been great if the sprite was changed for the rest of this, but oh well. Okay, are you going to be alright? Yep, I'm already alright. Somehow I highly doubt that, but I'm not going to push it. Yes, yes, don't think about the internal scars. I promise, Daddy, I'd never cry in front of strangers. Well, you've already broken that promise. How do you feel, Missy? How do you feel? No, I won't be like that. And you're a good kid, aren't you, Kay? You always keep your promises, right? Yeah, that's right. Even if I can't see Dad anymore, I'm still gonna keep all my promises. You're a very brave girl, Kay. You're a very good child for keeping that promise you made to your papa. I'll even testify that you didn't cry, just for you. Liars, everyone. Thank you very much, lady. It's nothing. I'm only telling the truth, after all. It would appear that because her father was a respected prosecutor, Franziska is sympathetic to Kay's feelings. Alright. Damn it. Let's bring up more sore spots. Kay, what kind of person was your father? Daddy was a hero of justice. His job was to catch all the bad people in the world. So to you, a prosecutor is a hero of justice, huh? I suppose we are, in a sense, as we are the ones who seek guilty verdicts for criminals. Plus, you know what? Whenever I came to the courthouse, Daddy would buy me my absolute favorite treats, Swiss rolls. Oh? I want to be a hero of justice someday, just like Daddy. So I've been working really hard. I see. And what have you been working hard on? A ninja kick so hard it gives you 20 bruises? I've been working hard to keep all the promises Daddy and I made together. And I'm sure it's going to come back in the story at some point. A promise notebook? May I take a look inside, Kay? Sure, okay. It appears to be an exchange diary of sorts between father and daughter. Mr. Faraday's writings convey a sense of the kind of man he was. This little notebook just might come in handy later. Interesting. Not sure how or why, but thank you for showing it to me, Kay. I hope you'll continue to work hard and become a hero, just like your father. I'm gonna try. Hey, Kay. So, I'm a detective that catches the bad people, right? Let's read it. But it's like reading somebody's diary. Suppose I'm gonna have to at some point. I'll get to it. That makes me a hero, too. Yeah, you're really cool, too, Gubby. Yeah, aren't I, Kay? Don't inflate his ego. Don't do it. What is with the two of them? I hand down verdicts of justice, so that makes me a hero too. Yes, and thanks to your oh so heroic testimony, you almost painted that detective as a vile criminal and sent him off to jail.
I'm really sorry about that.
Gummy is not a bad man, okay?
That poor judge. He's being treated like a vile criminal rather than a hero of justice. It appears that you and Detective Gumshoe are good friends, Kay.
Yeah, we're friends.
In that case, would you mind telling me a little more about him?
Ooh, neato. Okay.
Sure. Let's go take a look at that notebook and see what it does and what it has. Exchange diary between Mr. Faraday and Kay. Touch the check button. Doop-de-doop. Kay's promises to Daddy. Promise 1. Never take things from a stranger. Lies. Promise 2. Never go anywhere with a stranger. Lies. Promise 3. Always greet people with a smile, even people you don't know. She's got that going for her. Promise 4. Never cry in front of strangers. Broke that one. Promise 5. Always try your hardest to learn about things you don't understand. Seems admirable. Daddy's job is to make sure that everyone follows the rules, okay? Be a good girl and promise that you'll keep your promises to... Okay, to me. I love your daddy. Right. Little do we know, there is something seedy going on in those words. Okay. Gumshoe. So I take it that you ran into Detective Gumshoe earlier?
Yep. I was on my way to see Daddy when I saw Gummy standing there. He was standing in the hallway staring real hard at the vending machine, so I said hi.
And when was this?
Before everything got crazy.
How long were the two of you together?
We only talked for a little while, and then we went on our own ways.
That's right, pal. Kay and I only talked for a little while, and that's it.
Oh, which means we have now confirmed that Kay was in the hallway during the recess. Isn't that right?
You got me!
I told you to stop picking on Gummy, mister.
Very well then. I'll just have to speak with the good detective in private later about his pension. Swiss rolls. Were you the one who bought the pack of Swiss rolls, Kay?
Well, I didn't really have a lot of money, and I somehow made $1 out of all the pennies and quarters I had. That still wasn't enough, and I really, really wanted one.
Come to think of it, she did come and ask me to exchange a handful of change for $1. And that's when you came and asked me to change your money, correct?
Yeah, thanks so much for doing that, mister.
Sure. But let me ask you, even with that $1, you still didn't have enough, correct? And that's where the rest of his bonus went.
Well, that's why...
Hey, if you bully Kay anymore, I'm gonna have you I'm gonna have to arrest you, pal.
Need I remind you that you're the one already under arrest?
And you don't have cuffs or gun.
Joe!
I sense that Kay is going to be less than forthcoming with this question.
Sorry about your roughly thing.
Yes, well, now that it's positively drenched in your nasal mucus. Don't worry, Kay. I have a spare. So, here. You could have this one.
Aw, that's adorable. But Daddy said, never take things from a stranger.
It's one of the promises you made in your promise notebook, correct?
Yeah, look, see, it's right here on this page.
Never take things from a stranger. Alright then, I'm not giving this to you. I'm merely allowing you to borrow it. You can take it home, wash it nice and clean, and then give it back to me next time we meet.
Okay! Daddy never said I couldn't borrow things from strangers. Reasonable logic.
Good thing I just happen to have that other one in my pocket.
That way we don't have to change the sprite.
Now then, Detective Gumshoe. Uh-oh. I believe it is now crystal clear that you were with the little Kay in that hallway.
I told you to stop being mean to Gummy!
I'm not. We're just figuring out information. Hey, I am a sultan of the truth. which, that is withholding justice.
Miles Edgeworth, there's still something you have yet to resolve.
I beg your pardon?
You still haven't offered an explanation for why that man would lie to us.
That's... well...
Gummy, don't tell me you lied for my sake.
Hey, don't worry about it, Kay. Everything's gonna be okay.
Oh, so that's why.
So what was Detective Gumshoe's motive for lying? If you can't explain that, then you can't call this a perfect investigation.
His reason for lying is very simple.
What?
Here is what I believe to be his reason. From simple observation of the detective's actions and his interactions with Kay, it's obvious that detective was lying for the young girl's sake. And this piece of evidence will show you exactly why.
Which piece of evidence proves that Detective Gumshoe was lying on account of Kay?
Interesting. I think... it wouldn't be the Swiss roll again, would it? I'm trying to think, this is worded interestingly. Left on the hallway bench. No, that wouldn't be it. Well, what is this testimony? What does that directly say? Was in the hall on guard duty other than gunshot. Didn't hear a sign of struggle. Nah. That wouldn't be anything. Lying for her sake. I feel like it would have some... Which piece of evidence proves that Detective Gumshoe was lying on account of... does it have something to do with the balloon? Maybe. Oh god, I don't think so. This is the piece of evidence.
What are you showing me that for? Doesn't seem to add anything to the conversation.
I don't get where you're trying to... What are you trying to say with that? Or do you just like showing it off?
Are you gonna give that to me, mister?
Oh dear. Penalty. I don't feel the court needs to enter that into the court record at this time. What is wrong with everyone? Why are they all teasing me all of a sudden? Although it's possible that perhaps I made a mistake and that's why. Now then, back to the topic at hand. Detective Gumshoe lied for Kay's sake. And I know I hold the evidence, which shows the reason why. Does it have something to do with the notebook? Does he know about the notebook? Is there something in particular that she might have broken? Never take things from a stranger. Never go anywhere with a stranger. Always greet people, smile, never cry. Always try your hardest to learn. I mean... Maybe it's just another one of those, I'll cover for you.
Mr. Faraday in Kay's promise notebook. How does this explain everything?
If you would take a look at this page, it's clearly written that Kay should never take things from a stranger. When Detective Gumshoe heard about that promise, he tried to cover for Kay.
What a foolishly foolish fool's fool of a foolish reason for a fool! Gummy, you lied because of me, didn't you?
Because I'm your friend, Kay, that's why.
Gummy.
At long last, Detective Gumshoe, can you please tell me the whole truth now? Guess there's no beating you, huh, pal? Okay, I'll spill the goods. Finally. I'd been standing guard for a while. I was getting really hungry, and that snack vending machine was taunting me.
But all the cash you had on you was $5, and that wasn't enough to buy anything, right? After all, the cheapest item in that machine is a $6 pack of Swiss rolls.
Cheap, crappy rolls at that. Yeah, but then, like an angel from heaven, Kay showed up.
I was thinking about sharing a snack with Daddy, so I wanted to buy a Swiss roll, but I only had about $1 in coins.
So we pulled my $5 and her $1 together and bought a pack of Swiss rolls together.
But I was worried about breaking one of my promises. So then Gummy said,
Mr. Faraday's one scary guy when he gets mad. But don't worry, you won't get in trouble if I don't tell, right? Besides, you bought it with me. So you didn't really get it from me, you know.
He told me it'd be okay. And he gave me a whole roll to save and give to Daddy.
Did you straight up, like, split one of them? Or did she just not have any of them?
Who knew that Scruffy could be so considerate?
Indeed. Detective, I take it that you then sat down on the bench and ate the rolls together? Yeah, we split the other roll and ate it right then. The sweet taste of that cake's chocolate. I'll never forget it as long as I live, pal. Anyway... Okay, I believe this also belongs to you.
Why is it relevant now?
Couldn't that have worked in some capacity? Nah, I guess not.
Oh, that's from the balloon I popped. It's bad manners to leave garbage lying around, Kay. Sorry. Well, I guess I can't blame you for not throwing this one piece away. It was sitting high up on a windowsill where you couldn't see it. So, just this once, I forgive you. But that balloon, I wanted to surprise Gummy a little, so I popped it on purpose. And because of me, Gummy dropped his half a Swiss roll.
Now that explains why it was on the floor. Doesn't explain why he left it. Duh. Well, you really got me there, pal.
So I thought maybe I should give Gummy this other roll. And then I saw you picking on Gummy, mister.
So, you kicked me. Is that it?
You sure are a feisty one. I'm really sorry, mister.
It's all right. I'm perfectly unharmed. But about this Swiss roll, would it be all right with you if I held on to it until Detective Gumshoe is cleared of all charges and free to go?
Yeah, sure. Just make sure you give it to Gummy afterwards, okay?
Of course, I promise. Now then, I believe we have proven beyond the shadow of a doubt that Detective Gumshoe was in the hallway for the entire duration of his duty, which undeniably proves that Detective Gumshoe could not have committed the double murders. Oh dear. Of course.
Actually, it proves just the opposite, Edgeworth. You've just shown that Detective Gumshoe is the only one who could have committed the crime.
What do you mean?
It's quite rude to eavesdrop, Miss You.
Her objection sounds weird. A little bit. It sounds bored as all hell. Which kind of works. I expect that she's, like, bored for most of the time, but then cracks up out of nowhere. I'm getting lectured on manners by a girl with a penchant for whipping people.
What? How dare you talk back with such insolence? You're wrong, lady. Gummy's not the bad guy.
Do love her laughing animation. Yes, yes, it looks jovial.
Oh, and what have we here? What is a child doing here in a courthouse? Bailiff, please take this child in.
Oh boy, yeah, you'll never catch her. What? Miss Callisto, you! That girl is Mr. Faraday's...
I know, so what? You think that just because she's the victim's daughter, she gets to just run wild all around the crime scene? I think it's actually quite dangerous for her, to speak nothing of getting underfoot.
I suppose you're right. However,
as long as we're in agreement on that point, let's get back to the real issue at hand. Now then, detective, you were in front of the door to lobby number 2 the entire time, correct?
Yeah, but...
You see, isn't it obvious that it could only be the detective? He is the only person who could have gone into lobby number 2 at the time of the murders.
And it's time for us to prove that that murder didn't happen at that time, which is what I'm thinking. I have no counter-argument to that.
Don't worry, I've already put in the necessary paperwork for his formal arrest.
But the investigation is far from over.
Oh, that's right. I was going to speak with you about that. Don't you think it's reckless to talk to the suspect out in the open without a guard?
I suppose it is.
Well, as someone with more experience in law than you, allow me to share something. Always keep a good eye on a criminal, or you may regret what comes of your negligence. Oh, Miles, I can't believe you're letting this woman lecture you like this. This is unforgivable as a disciple of Von Karma. Down, tigers. Now then, I'll be looking forward to the results of your investigation. Shush up, lady. So we're back to square one. Actually, this is our last chance. I can tell that if we fail to solve this case, Detective Gumshoe will be formally charged under all of the circumstantial evidence. This investigation is not over yet. There's still one location we have yet to inspect. It's where Detective Bad and Miss Yu were at the time of the crime. Lobby number 1. To be continued. And I've actually got some extra plans that I'm going to be doing tonight, so I actually have to leave it off here. But, oh, this has been fun. This has been refreshing after, that whirlwind of horrible nonsense that happened last stream. Involved with every technical error under the sun. Well, not really every technical error. I was talking to, friends about it earlier, and there's just, did the computer catch fire? No. Fair enough. So it wasn't the worst. But anywho. And speaking of having things I am doing later, I should mention that tomorrow I am not going to be streaming at 7, and instead I'm going to be streaming at 5. Not sure what I'm doing, but yeah, I'm going to be doing 2 hours earlier because I actually do have plans with friends on Sunday, and it starts up at around 7. So, yeah, I need to move the stream a little bit just to make room for it. But anyways, this has been exciting. So, thanks for popping out in the stream just to hang out, speak in the chat. I appreciate it. Thanks for showing up, Mario. This actually was pretty solid and straightforward. I'm starting to worry because we've run into some situations lately where I get confused and I don't really know what the answer is, which has caused me to go into the chopping block and edit a whole bunch of these episodes. We're getting there. It's getting to the really harder parts of the stories. But anyways, this one seems pretty clean. I'm probably just going to do some minute, tiny edits to it, and then I'm going to upload it to YouTube. I stream on Saturdays, Sundays, and Wednesdays. Most of them starting at 7 o'clock. Again, tomorrow we're starting at 5 instead. Some other stuff I'm currently playing. This is your favorite case in the game. So far, it's pretty fun. I do like just the whole stepping back in time and seeing all of these characters with younger, fresher faces. I'm trying to think my favorite part of it, my favorite element. Honestly, one of my favorite elements is just the fact that we are in a courthouse again. It's refreshing to get out and have games and investigations located in, a plane, an amusement park. But I don't know, it feels right at home to be doing it inside a courthouse somehow. But anywho's, some other stuff. I haven't heard much about the Stardew Valley multiplayer. That's still supposed to be coming out, and I have plans that I want to try and to start that. I want to try some Stardew Valley multiplayer with somebody that I know. So that'll happen as soon as that comes out. A couple other things I'm playing. Again, playing Ace Attorney Investigations. That's one. I want to get back to playing Breath of the Wild. I probably won't be playing that tomorrow because that's a game I feel like I need to long haul a bit more, and I only have 2 hours, so I'm not limiting that. I might do West of Loathing because I haven't played that in a while. Or I might play a random roguelike just because it's been a little while since I've done that. I'm not doing a VR stream for a while because that was a headache and a half. Heck, I'm kind of considering just redoing some of the games that I ended up screwing up on that one stream. Anyways, enough jabber from me. I actually haven't eaten anything yet for dinner, so I'm going to go do that. Again, thanks for coming out. See you next time.